Call the meeting to order.
Mary Wiles,
Here.
Mike Parsons,
Here.
Anthony Campbell.
Here.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation.
Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for getting us all here safely. We ask that you continue to protect our drivers on the roads tonight and with this winter weather that we are experiencing. I ask that you just guide this meeting and let us make the best decisions that honor you and are the best for the city and the people. I ask you to just preside over the meeting tonight and be with us all as we travel. These and pray. Amen.
I do need a motion to adopt the agenda. We're going to make one change. I want to add one thing that came up today, and it's the nursing home building. So I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Yes.
Trevor Long,
Yes.
Ann Buckman. Yes. Scott Snyder.
Next, we have the ratify the November bills. Como?
Almost the direct.
I was thinking it was, yeah. We just pay a yearly fee and get something.
See it once a year. I'll probably ask you next.
Probably. Yeah, I didn't write for double this. Where is she? I'll be getting on the back, but it's it's something to talk about. She did bring her the front. We'll just get down, I'll get here. We'll see.
You don't have to 4 hours, 7. I think it'll be.
So when they go to this apartment, they're probably going to check until somebody else. I couldn't be going to work here. Okay, are we good? We have a motion to ratify bills.
Make a motion to ratify bills.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yeah.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence? Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Ashley Buck?
We have the minutes, we just have one set of minutes for November. We'll go over those.
lights on.
Not me. I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve minutes of November 3rd, 2025. Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Abstain.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Dan Coffman,
Yes. Yes.
pass 4 with 1 abstention. 4-1.
So next, we have a couple ordinances we need to get approved. The lease agreement, I think Carrie, there was something you had brought up, and that's why we're doing the amendment.
Yeah,
I'll let you go ahead.
it's kind of my fault, I read it too fast, and it was, I talked to Superintendent Board as well. He had just pulled that from a agreement they had done with just a private party, and I didn't notice there was an indemnification provision, and municipalities we have immunity from litigation, most litigation, and so I talked to the superintendent, we both agreed we didn't need that in there, so we just took it out.
Yeah, and the school board approved it already, so.
Yeah.
So it is an ordinance because it's changed the lease, so I need a first, second, and approve it. And it's been hanging, right, so I can do title only. All right, so I need a motion for a first reading.
Make a motion for first reading of bill number 2025-0080.
Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Abstain.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Dan Coffman,
Yes.
pass 4-1 with 1 abstention.
An ordinance approving an amendment to property lease agreement with Dixon R1 School District. Motion for the second.
I'll make a motion for a second reading of bill 2025-0080 by title only.
Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Abstain.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Dan Coffman,
Yes.
pass 4-1 with 1 abstention.
An ordinance approving an amendment to property lease agreement with the Dixon R1 School District. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve. Second. Bill 2025-080. Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Abstain.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Dan Coffman,
Yes.
pass 4-1 with 1 abstention.
So the next ordinance, this is the, with Kristen Deluca, our auditor, that we have every year. We just have to enter into an agreement with her. Any questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay, any motion for a first reading?
Can we not do like a 5-year thing?
I think she wants every year, doesn't she?
I think it's going to be a letter issue.
Yeah.
Has it been last year?
Yes.
Okay. Make a motion, first reading of bill number 2025-0081 by title only. Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Justin Thompson,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Dan Coffman,
Yes.
pass 5-0.
An ordinance approving an understanding of services with Deluca Audit Services LLC for the audit of City of Dixon's financial statements for the year ending September 30, 2025. Motion for the second reading.
Make a motion for second reading, Bill 2025-0081 by title only.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Arnold?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
An ordinance approving an understanding of services with Deluca Audit Services LLC for the audit of City of Dixon's financial statements for the year ending September 30, 2025. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve
Bill number 2025.
No, wait, it's 2025-0081.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Arnold?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
This one, I don't have a bill number on this one. Is it 82?
It's on this.
Is it in minutes? Okay. Oh, you don't have a copy of it? Okay, so this is to establish a surplus policy, so they don't have to come to us every time they want to sell something. Right now, they have lots of stuff just laying around, and we want to be able to just put that out there and sell it. And I think the idea is to put it on the website, right, Kelly? Yes. We're going to put it on the website and take bids for it a certain amount of time.
Is there a limit on what they can just sell?
I think it's of value.
Value is $750.
Yeah.
Anything over 750, they gotta get permission. So like they have, so example, the dog pound was falling down. And, well, the cat cages, I guess, were already down at Elm Street. They've taken them out already. So there's those cat cages from the dog pound are down at Elm Street. And instead of scrapping them, he wants to see if he can sell them. If not, we'll scrap them. It's that kind of things, that just stuff that's been laying around.
There's no
I don't know,
law,
the-
nothing in the ordinance here.
I think it's in the policy.
Is it?
Yeah, D.
So the idea would be that each of the supervisors would fill out the form and give us like an anticipated value of what they thought it was worth. I do a report monthly, bring it to you guys, this is what they're hoping to sell. You guys would approve the sale.
So we're still going to approve the sale, even if it's just not, doesn't have to.
Yeah, it's bulk items that, you know,
Yeah, they can sell it all at once instead of you guys saying, yeah, she can sell those cages, or yeah, she can sell these trash cans, or they can just make it.
I'm just making sure, because, I mean, here's the deal, Weston may have an idea that he doesn't need X, Y, and Z down there, but we may have a more future outlook and say, well, if he's not here for, whatever.
Yes, no, I understand. I got you. It could happen. Anybody could leave at any time.
Right, so. Maybe something that's in his best interest, but not the city's best interest.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff, like, I think Lacey's got some stuff, and we just, instead of onesie twosie in it.
No, I get it, like I said, that was all, I just want to clarify that there was something.
Yeah, that's her report here, so. And I think they've already started making a list, and then after tonight, they're gonna do their report, right?
I mean, I think they have ideas of what.
we got to get, we just got to put it on paper. yeah. I mean,
Have to have the policy to,
Also, it's going to take a little bit of price.
yeah. And that's fine. Okay. So if everybody's good with the surplus policy, I just need a motion for a first reading.
So just to be sure,
Yes.
so they're going to give us a list first, we're going to approve the list, and then they'll be able to sell.
So then we'll put it on the website and sell it, yes.
For that dollar amount, that value.
I mean, what are you going to do on governance? Is this an auction? the amount. Most of all government entities post their stuff on gov deals. It's where you sell it all. It can go for $7 or $7.50.
Yeah, where's the point?
So I think if it's a larger item, then it would go in for an auction. So in E, where it says it's in excess of $750, it'll be like on that basis versus, we don't want to sell, obviously for a municipality, we shouldn't really throw anything away. So if it's obsolete or it doesn't have a value, then they can say it doesn't have a value, scrap it, whatever. But if we have, say, a file cabinet that the drawer is jammed, and someone may want it, it's not going to go to gov deals. I mean, that's kind of silly. But if we just put it on the website, someone, and say,
So you're saying put it on the website with a listed price? Here's
right, if they assigned it, but if it's over $750,
Right.
it would go to bid.
Okay, so then the next step to that would be, when it's on there for 6 months at $600, you have to come to us to lower the price to $500 to sell it then. What are we approving the price you paid for it? In the same time we're approving the idea of selling.
You're approving the price?
No, I'm asking if we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna approve the list.
If
it's
it
gonna
doesn't
come
sell for
from
that amount, then we're gonna start the process of at what point is this even send us in?
Well, and then like, if the cat cages, which are all metal, if they sit there for, I say 30 days, and nobody bids on them, nobody has interest in them,
Bid?
he should be able to scrap it. Well, or buys them, purchases them, then he should be able to just scrap it. Instead of throwing them away.
Well, if you ask, nothing against Nathan, but maybe he says that all this should be worth $500, but nobody wants to buy it for $500, so he's gonna scrap it for $36, because nobody wants to buy it for $500, so I might want it for $400.
Well, that's the whole thing, if he brings it to you and he's got 500, and you're like, well, that's only worth $40.
I don't know much about cat cakes myself.
I don't either.
I'm glad you said something because there
I've seen these before. However, they're normally come in a list of bulk items. Your scrap metal is thrown in the scrap metal pile. A broken dock cabinet is thrown in a pile. We get a big pile of this scrap. We get that money anyway. You don't worry about the other stuff. I mean, the stuff you can sell, it just gets approved and goes on gov deals. That's what gov deals is for. Is government entities to sell. Normally, that's where you get your top dollar. You
I
don't
mean,
get
you
it.
have to, any gov deals though, you have to give them a certain percentage of what you sell it for, don't you, just like any other auction site?
Yeah.
only sell for $75.
Well, no, you don't. You really don't. The buyer pays the premium.
On that one?
Yes, the buyer pays the amount. We do. I don't know.
So like in my instance, like I have a lot of like specialty antique electronic stuff
Mhm.
that if you go on Gov Deals, you can see that stuff because most people don't shop Gov Deals.
Mhm.
I mean, realistically.
Yeah.
And this would just be another avenue that if I could get $30 for an old light box or something that is no longer of use for us rather than putting on Gov Deals and then sitting out long and not sell. Because there's tons of
We're
that.
throwing it away.
Right, no, I think it's a novel idea, but it's at what point do you guys keep bringing it back to us because it didn't sell for this price and so.
I'm okay with not bringing it to you and just sell it. I mean, just approve the sale and then.
But that's what I think that's what I'm asking though, is that what this ordinance says? Is that what the policy says? That we get to approve that we're selling it, and frankly, if you get the final decision of what you're gonna sell it for, then why do we even care what your dollar amount you value it?
Right.
And it goes back to your budget, so it doesn't.
You're not approving the final sale, but give your best estimate of what it's worth to decide whether you need to advertise it versus just find.
So
But you're just gonna sell it to the highest bidder at the point that you're selling.
really, we're giving
Permission
permission.
or not,
Pardon?
this is what's been discussed, it's not bidders, they're not bidding, they're not.
They're just
putting out the
assigning
bid.
it out and putting it out.
Can we not give you a list of the things we want to get rid of and then use our judgment to get rid of it, which
I mean,
is
I'm
how
fine
we
with
see
that.
fit?
That's what I would rather. I'd rather just get permission of items to sell, and whatever they sell for, they sell for.
They
Yeah,
sell-
exactly. He's right. There's stuff that's really super obsolete, but a collector might want it.
Right, which that was the first question I asked.
Yeah.
Do we have to reapprove if it doesn't sell for the first dollar?
Yeah, it's
No,
And no, okay,
No.
then that would have.
it goes back to their budget anyway.
that dollar amount is mostly just to protect you by advertising on
assuming that anything under 750 is
Yeah, so we're not gonna put something out there.
not a major
That was
project.
my question. Do we have to approve it again? That was.
Well, I'd say they just approve their right to sell it, and whatever sells, they sell it.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, the only thing, if you're selling it, let us know. At some point, just let us know, because that way it can be kept on the books, where did this go?
Well, I understand.
If somebody comes up.
I understand Trevor's concern where, something's being sold that could potentially down the road could benefit the city or whatever the case is. So I understand the approval side, but the money side,
Yeah, no,
I mean, it is what it is.
I don't want us to be involved with it that much. I want you guys to just manage it. That's what you're for.
I do want you to get a list so you can at least see what's
Sure,
going on.
sure. We can be like, hey, don't sell it.
We can get one every month, or whatever you guys get, and
So who establishes the price?
Us.
You guys do.
You will.
Dude.
yeah.
As long as the policy says that. they're involved.
And the
Yeah,
money
that's
goes
what
right,
it says that.
the money goes right back to the revenue.
So they get their money.
It's kind of like Trevor said, I have no idea what that cage is.
Well, I mean, if I sell a Demo for $5, it doesn't work, you guys think it's worth $30. I mean,
And that would be, we would have that opportunity, I suppose, that's where you would push your estimated price, and you might be like, hey, Nathan, that might be worth a little bit more. Because, I don't know, maybe you may have a side business selling black market cat cages or something.
Maybe.
Honestly, would you check?
My plan was the surplus, my thing is surplus list with the bills. That way, if we have it, you have it, if you don't, you don't, it would be an agenda item.
It could be with their monthly report.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all separate.
That way.
Then you can do it that way.
And if you happen to see something that raises a flag, then you say, well,
Otherwise, just, it'll go,
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's, yeah.
okay?
I was trying to make sure there's a little more hands-on for us, that's.
I don't-
That was my goal, I want to be able to get rid of stuff without having to say, can we sell this, can we sell this, can we sell this?
But we do have to have some sort of record of what's being sold.
Yes.
And then we have to notes of that.
I say approve the sale one time and
Be
call it.
done, absolutely. So do we need to change this at all, or is this?
I don't think so. You're right.
I mean, we can, because they're not gonna bring us the first list till next month.
It may be the next, maybe February, I don't know.
I think we just take rid of it.
It's less than.
We have,
No, written disposition.
we have a city policy that says if it's over 750 value, we have to list it.
That is just what this policy is for.
But nothing other than this right here.
Nothing other
So
than
if we
that.
strike it, we'll do it.
If you want to make it a different amount, I mean, there's going to be a certain value where you probably want to advertise it, and maybe that's a little low. But you could by a motion, change the number.
If you want more than seven, like $2,000.
I'm thinking equipment and or vehicles are gonna be.
That's the only thing you want to approve.
I kind of agree with that, but instead of the intrinsic value, maybe just, yeah. But there again, where do we draw the line with equipment? Hot saw does, or the generator doesn't, or a pump does, So the dollar amount on these.
I'd say you probably just said
I mean,
But also,
realistically.
I mean, if
what are
we
they
leave
going
it
to be
and they
selling
put it on the
between
list,
$1,000 and $5,000.
and you don't question it, it's gonna go, yeah.
but also keep in mind, the language for advertising, there's an or there. So you could put it in the paper, or you can put it on Facebook. So you could do the level of advertising that's appropriate. I mean, if it's a $30,000 asset that you're trying to get rid of, maybe you put it in the newspaper.
Right.
But if it's a $2,000 something, you put it on Facebook.
Then at that
And
point,
it's-
though, this list would have to be approved if we did make it unlimited dollar amounts, it would, we would definitely want to approve it, because, which
So
I
we'll
will
see
be
everything yourself, yes,
Which we will be every month anyway.
yeah.
But now, if we, miss a meeting or whatever, like I just said just a few minutes ago, that question was asked by somebody, and I said that we're not really approving it, all we're doing is giving a chance to
should look at it.
We'll look at it, and if we see any changes, she said we bring it up.
You bring it up.
But they are not going to sell things until we get a chance to look at it. If the meeting's canceled for whatever else, postponed for a holiday, they don't get to sell within 30 days just because they put it on the list.
Because they gave it
Does
to.
the ordinance say that we have to approve this?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, is there a way to write that? Like, as long as we lay eyes on it, then they can go ahead and sell it, but without saying we have to approve it.
Shall be made to the board. It said on G, it's the written report of the disposition of each item of surplus property
Shall be made. You wanted to say will?
Should.
Will be made to the board?
Yeah, that just means that we'll put it in the board authority, but we have to approve it. I think we have to.
C is
You
the
want to say
approval.
with approval?
C is the approval, where they're gonna, I mean, I think the board needs to say, we designate this as surplus property, unless you may sell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, as long as C's in there, then that's fine.
C is the part where you approve it.
It has to be.
D is when they come back and tell you what they sold it for, it's just a reporting.
G is just, we sold it here.
Or G, I'm sorry.
What we have, basically, they can't, like, if Wesley brings us something, you know, and the meeting doesn't happen, or we don't get it, or we skip it for whatever reason, he's not allowed to sell it until we do.
Until we approve it to the board first.
So we're still approving every single item.
Yeah.
But this is just more
It's just in a
streamlined.
list and a
Straight
like,
line sale.
instead of onesie twosie items. Okay, we good?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
No, I
Of
still need a
course,
first.
we could raise the bell back to whatever, or, you know, Monday, because we're going to get to approve it. And this would be just our policy for approving any item to sell. And that's kind of what we were just talking about. And then instead of making him a meeting because he wants to sell the Ford Ranger, it's on the list, we see it, we approve the list, with exceptions or without exceptions. So we could almost take the dollar amount out of it. That's what I was saying. Just basically make it.
The only thing, the dollar amount is how we listed, I guess.
I think like the dollar amount is, like you said, the difference between a vehicle or a filing cabinet. You know, you're probably gonna wanna see a vehicle and probably.
And we're not advertising.
A filing cabinet, you're not gonna care
We're
about.
not advertising 5 old radios or one old light bar. We're just gonna, he's gonna post it wherever. If it's over 750, we have to advertise it.
Then you're saying it would be a separate deal anyway because it's going to be advertised for that.
That's it.
I was just thinking that this might be a chance to put it all in one thing. I'm really looking at everything. So I'm too happy to read it. Because it does seem like a little more streamlined process. It's up to you guys, I don't care.
I think it's probably good the way it's just leave it like it is and we'll continue doing it
I
because.
mean, we can always change it. If we
They're gonna-
go through it 1 or 2 times and you
We'll
guys
see
are
that.
like, we do not like this.
We'll see how it works this first month.
Yeah.
See, because they'll bring us the list and we'll have this deal if we need to. I think it'll work. I think there's a,
Yeah, because it's a policy, so it can be changed.
That's fine. I mean, that would be my only potential thing would be to maybe just make it include everything. And you just do everything. If you want to sell the backup, you put it on there and we're like, no, we're not going to sell the backup. Whatever.
Yeah.
But then everything would be done the same exact way.
I think this,
A desk.
you're not talking just surplus items, you're talking everything. So
But all games are the same form. That's, I guess, what we're saying.
I guess it would all fall under surplus still if we had 2 backhoes and we would sell them. So I guess it's already covered, wouldn't it?
It's just the dollar amount has to change.
No, I don't. I think that 750 is just how we, you're just saying take the 750 off and include it.
Yeah, basically, anything they want to sell comes to.
So will we make a decision on how we advertise it then?
Well, don't we have
That's the only
policy?
750
Wouldn't we
comes.
have, wouldn't we have policy that would dictate that?
Well, that's why
That's
the
what the
policy is here.
750.
The 750 is when you put it out
Yeah,
on
that's-
Facebook for 10 days, or if it's just, you just list it on the website and say, we want $20 for this, come get it.
That's why I asked her if we had anything currently that tells us we have to advertise it. And she said that's what this is.
Yeah.
So this is just saying
We
anything
don't
we
have-
value over $750, we have to advertise it differently than.
That's why all this stuff, little stuff's sitting around.
So then we don't have to make any changes to do that.
No, we.
No.
Basically, from now on, you guys want to sell something, you submit it through this thing. As long as that's all copacetic,
very good with that. Like I said, I think that makes it better for everyone, on everything. That way, if Wesley can't make it to a meeting, or Nate can't make it to a meeting, we have a form, we can see what they say, we can go ahead and approve it, or if we go back down, we can ask them some questions before we approve this, whatever. But that way, whatever, you don't have to increase it.
Yes.
I'll make a motion for the reading of bill number 2025-0082, anniversary by title only.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warner?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed by all.
An ordinance establishing and enacting a surplus personal policy, property policy. Oh my gosh. Let me read it again. An ordinance establishing and enacting a surplus personal property policy. Reading today.
I make a motion for a second reading of Bill 2025-0082 by title only.
Second.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warner?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed by all.
An ordinance establishing and enacting a surplus personal property policy. Do it that way. Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warner?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed by all.
So, next month we expect to see lists. Okay, so we have next the special event request requirements. So this is something that we had done, like anytime anybody wanted to close the street, needed to use public works, needed the PD for support, any kind of event that anybody was performing in town. So we would ask them to fill this out. Now, it started out that it wasn't going to require board approval, right? Have we changed our minds on that, or?
Says we reserve the right to modify or cancel the proposed special event. Still kept at the very bottom, so I assume that means that we're still able to
Able to.
do that.
I think the question is, do you want to see this every time someone fills it out? So you can approve it as approved.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
so.
And I like to see one other thing,
Okay.
any markings on the street need to be removed. Any markings put on the street need to be removed. In other words, don't paint your numbers on the street, use chalk.
I didn't hear what you had said, I can't see your lips.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, no, it's just a pain.
My bad, Ray,
No,
sorry.
no, it's okay.
He knows that.
It's okay. I'm interested in the form, because I do have the event center in town, and I just want to make sure, like, I'm having hometown Christmas in my building. I'm not asking for city support as far as PD or anything like that. This form would not apply to me.
I wouldn't think so. I don't know.
I think this is for
But
treats.
let's pretend next year it gets a little, oh, where is he? And people want to have more things outside.
Yeah, you want to have vendors on the street,
Vendors on the street, then I would
and then you would fill
okay.
this out,
And our vendors on city property, I think that would be good.
which is the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a parade, or.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure because I wasn't 100% on that, and this one is interesting to me, so that's why.
But you're gonna have food vendors, correct?
Say
You're
again?
gonna have food vendors?
I will have food trucks, but I'm gonna have two. I've already spoken to the funeral home. They said that we can have them parked in the parking lot. And I was advised that because it is not something that is the personal or private property, and I've gotten the approval, I don't need to fill out that form. But they will be out there. And it's, roll with it
On private property,
and something else.
I mean, you're not going to street street closure or anything like that?
Nope.
Any barricades?
Nope.
Nothing like
Nothing.
that?
I'd say you're
Nope.
fine.
They're just gonna be parked over there, and I told them they cannot use any electricity that has any connection with the PD or run extensions. It has to be a generator if they have one. If they don't have a generator, that's up to them. I'm also going to be asking them for proof of their insurance. One of the food trucks, they are from a different county, and because they come into our county, I'm gonna also request that they provide a permit showing that they talked to the health department to
Okay.
be.
Now, do we require the food trucks to get a business license?
Sounds like it could.
So if they don't have one, I have them get it ahead of time, yeah.
So.
I believe Roland has one.
They have, I think they have one, and then I know the other, oh, it's Mario.
He has it.
Here, I know he's in town.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, if you had another one show up and say, hey, I want to do this, they'll need to come get a business license.
okay, that's that. And what I can do, Kelly, is I can get with the roll with the guy and ask him if he has one. If he doesn't, then that's fine. He won't be.
And all the food vendors for Tri-County deal, do they all have business license? Because he's better, I think, right?
He's parked in the commuter parking lot before
Oh,
too.
then I'd say he's got it.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, I'll check it.
Okay, I'll.
Yeah, he parks on Friday.
So you're using the funeral home parking lot? You're using the funeral home parking lot?
The gravel road.
This
The
gravel?
gravel.
Oh, I'll mention that.
Yeah.
That was it.
So like, there's no barricades, no shuts, nothing like that, because the other concern for me is as a small business in town, that the special event insurance would be like $400, and that would kill anything that we're trying to get going on in there. So like this year, we're gonna give back 10% of every vendor who has a spot, 10% of it is going back to an organization in the community. Then I can't do that now, if I had to do that. So that's where I'm also concerned, because when you call for special event insurance, they want to know how many people.
Yeah, you can
I,
run it.
100?
Yeah, you can have 100, you can have 500.
Right, I don't know. Well, because of that, that's a liability. So there's all these different things that come up, and the more that they question and the things I'm like, I could have 2 people show up. I know I'm gonna have 17 in there because the vendors in this room is clause, but that's, well, so the amount increases and decreases based off the liabilities that the insurance companies look at. So that, for me, I'm never gonna be able to bring it bigger than my building because the special event insurance is a killer. And then it's the concerns of all other things and other entities that have the events that shut off the street, like, are they following the same rules? So
That's
it's-
what this is for, so that they do have to follow those rules from this point forward.
Okay.
And keep in mind, like, it's a requirement that like, if somebody has an event, it's under our liability unless they provide it.
Yeah, and that's the reason for this also.
Okay, and that I wanted to.
It's not just our liability, we're not just saying that to have it, we're required.
We just, yeah, we want to know, yeah.
Okay, and I think that's fair, as long as everybody understands that they have to do it, and that it is a requirement of the city for the safety of our community. So I appreciate that it's on the agenda.
Any other questions about the application?
Do we have
I have
like
another.
a cancellation? Anything that covers any cancellations?
No.
Can you say that, Robert? just in-
Cancellations.
I said, do we have anything that covers any cancellations on here? I'm meeting at their request, Wesley, to have 7 extra guys, and they cancel it, don't tell us that we have 7 extra guys.
Right.
What do we do? So that's what it is. That's the only I have.
Nathan had a good question. Who enforces all of this?
Whose job is it to enforce?
That they fill out the application.
Well, not just that, but the individual things, like, I'm just gonna use the example of, we've obviously had a few of these filled out already, as we all already know. Like, we know that there was an event that happened where the business in town absolutely were not contacted about anything, you know, like, whose job is it to enforce that?
And my question kind of goes off of that. So for me, let's say that I want to shut down just from Palm Alley to Third, I should definitely go around to the other businesses and have it to where, hey Heather, I'm going to have this and I'm going to close it right here, so I'm taking some of your staff's parking, but I'm going to have this event. Is that okay? And there should be some kind of written acknowledgement instead of a, you know, north and south, because that could be anything, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of is where, okay, well, as a business owner or the individual that's asking for the city to shut down the street, I need to get everybody's okay with it.
That is in here. It does say what it is.
Yeah,
It just says, yeah, it's like.
But I mean, who's gonna enforce it?
Who's gonna,
that's the question, who's
Yeah.
enforcing all of this?
Well, we should have a form. No. Another form that they hand to the person that they talk to, and it has to be signed by them. And they have to turn in all the ones.
So like, let's use counties as a really good example. So for counties, the Chamber of Commerce has to get one of those forms filled out by every business in town.
Yep.
Whatever one of.
If they're gonna block that business, yes.
The only problem is what if one of 25 says no?
Then we gotta have an argument or a discussion.
Well, that's what we're saying though, is whose job, it's ours to approve it, but if we're going on Saturday, someone comes in here and has an event, who's gonna go up and tell them not to?
Why does the brick and mortar have to be penalized?
They don't.
Because they're the ones that have to pay taxes to this county.
That we would approve this, we would all see that's correct. And we were going to give them a final approval or disapproval. It would be advertised and the businesses in town would have a chance to come inside the
It
piece.
says 30 days before, prior to the event.
Yeah.
So that would be time for anything to happen.
And it will get
Except for we already approved this.
heated, it'll get heated the first time around.
Well, the problem is, like with counties, for instance, county's planning starts in February.
I can't hear a word.
So let's say hypothetically, we start planning counties in February, which is not hypothetical, that's gonna happen. So we go around to businesses, let's say 2 or 3 of the businesses in town switch hands. Like, how do we address this situation? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, because this says, you know, we contact them, like,
It's just a yes or no question.
it's a yes or no question, did we contact them? Like, this past year, they were getting contacted. But like, because to me, counties, it's courteous to reach out to businesses, hey, this is how counties is gonna happen, just an FYI. Are you gonna be open? We'd like to advertise it if you're gonna be, kind of thing. That's not how that went down this year, but I'd like to see it go down that way this year, or this coming year. I don't see it as more so of a permission thing from businesses. I don't think we should seek permission from every business in town to host an event in our town. But I do think we should, as a courtesy, be like, this event is happening on this date. We just want to give you a heads up to use it as an opportunity for yourself. This is the
Well, leave an
opportunity.
opening in front of their businesses so that people can get into their business.
I agree wholeheartedly with you.
And as long as we're doing that, as long as we're leaving an opening for them so that they can do business. No, we're not gonna open the street up for somebody so that they can have vehicle traffic. But if a business wants to be open, they've got the right to have clear access to their building.
I agree, 100%.
That's the.
But what I'm saying is-
Good.
But what I'm saying is, who's enforcing this, how are we gonna run it? Because that's the question at hand at this point.
So just to make sure, so as an example, chief comes in, something happens, he comes in, he sees that all of Elm is shut down, 30 days, the form is 30 days, why didn't anybody let us know who put up the barricades? That's what you're saying, like at that point, then chief would have to go and find out who put the barricades, all these things. Right? I want to make sure I understand, so like.
Yeah, who's the person that,
Right,
if there's a parade outside tomorrow,
who did that when it didn't even come to us? Okay, so then what would happen at that point? Is there going to be any type of?
Who's checking that the insurance is really legitimate? Who's checking that
Okay.
I can say I have insurance all day long, I can check a little box that says, yeah, I have
I
it.
just, my big thing is counties is, well, just use counties as an example. I mean, for 42 years, never had an issue. And then this year we have an issue. I just.
We've had issues with counties for so many years, Anthony.
Not with what we had this year.
It wasn't just counties. There's been a couple other events that have, I know for a fact that have not come in here and filled out this form, we don't know if they have been earned.
I honestly believe the only way to solve this, like what I said, at the meeting that it's going to get approved, the public has the right to be here. The public has the right to be at every meeting and bring their complaints forward. If they don't want us to approve it, they can speak their piece, and the decision ultimately falls on us.
Yeah, put it on the agenda, approval of whatever.
Now, I'm going to expect it to be Kelly's responsibility to check and make sure the insurance is correct and that they actually have that and those things, for this form, but.
It's kind of like our town halls and our workshops. We put it out there, we ask the public to come, they don't show up, they don't say anything.
And it's on us to make the decision.
Then we make the decision, we say, yes, move forward, go ahead.
I know counties has had its ups and downs, nothing like this last year.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
So, I mean,
The businesses that want to stay open, it should just be a courtesy that nothing's blocking their doors.
I agree.
I mean, because that is our tax base. I mean, that's what the chamber is for, and I get the county is able to I doubt if there was an antique shop, I doubt if the restaurant, they wanted the walkway so people could go in and out. That way all the food trucks didn't take away from their business, because that's an opportunity for them to make money.
There was plenty of space for it.
And if we need to expand or whatever, that's why 30 days in advance, then we can start, okay, this business wants to open, this business wants to open, and then we need to move farther down the street this way, or whatever the case is.
Now, is that something that's going to happen at this meeting? If
No.
every single business is going to come in here and tell us, okay.
Right, well, and that's the reason why.
We need to set a precedent, when you guys approve it though, you guys need to make it clear to the Chamber of Commerce that this is an expectation, this will happen. The businesses, when you guys set out your vendor map, you need to make sure that you know which businesses will be open and that you will give them X amount of feet in front of their business entrance so that they have space for people to get in if they're going to be open during the event.
So when we have the meeting with the form, and we tell the chamber, this business, this business, this business do not want to be blocked, and if you block them, chief's gonna come and make a move.
Yes. You need to make that clear.
But the city does have an ordinance that regardless, it's not connected to counties, but I know we're talking about counties right now, but.
No, that's anything. And if you had an event and Monty doesn't want you to block him, you can't.
Right, but I think the city ordinance from 2019, it says that period, no businesses shall be blocked ever, doesn't it?
I think it says at the request of the business.
Yeah, but being
I don't-
blocked, I don't guess I understand what we're saying is being blocked. So,
like if you put a food truck right in front of my front door to my building,
in the
In front of her
street,
steps on the street.
yeah, in the street.
that's city property, we should be able to say yes or no to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they pay taxes to this town to take care of it. We're supposed to take care of it. Move your trailer 10 feet.
And there's
It's
plenty,
not
plenty of space.
I see it differently. And I
Well,
apologize for
I think
that. but
the only way I see it
It's 2 days?
is this form, was made for counties. We can be
I feel like
really
there
good.
wasn't plenty of space. I feel like if there wasn't plenty of space, I'd agree with you. It's
The
too
same-
big.
the
But
same-
there's plenty of space, right?
The same with Tri-County when they had their thing up there.
Correct.
If they were what's the little antique, what's the?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, if you wanted to be open during that time, and because, realistically, to walk behind food trucks or behind whatever to get to a business, it's a pain in the butt stepping over cords and everything, that's wrong. So, I get the business perspective, but most of them are not going to care, but if they do care, we should be courteous enough to be like, okay, your opening is open.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole reason for all these events has, most of all of them, is to boost our local businesses.
Yeah.
Not to boost someone from Lebanon, not to boost someone from Raleigh, not to get along here, but it's for our businesses. That's what counties are for, that's why it's
Definitely.
made.
Like
You
the
dated all the
old car show, same
you
thing.
dated all the way back, and that's why counties is here. The car show is to boost our local people, so if we're not looking for local people first, we're in the wrong. However, this has a map that has to be turned in with this. When we look we look at these businesses and figure out which ones don't want to be open, or doesn't want to be blocked, and we approve it that night. It's all in there. I think this should cover it as long as we do our job on the council to approve it or deny it and tell them no. And that's probably where we faulted a little bit this year. We didn't.
Well, we
look at
didn't
that
have
night.
it set up as,
But we,
it came to you guys
We
first.
also have the public show up. If they have an issue with
It
something.
needs to be on the agenda.
So there is
This
show
would
up
have to be posted.
100%.
This would have to
Everywhere.
be posted everywhere, because, so they can, you know.
Facebook,
You can't
newspaper.
run, I mean, how, you can't blame us, because, I mean, we've done counties for umpteen years, and we never had problems.
100%.
This is the first time we ever had a problem. How did we know that we have to address something when we don't even know that it needs addressed until now?
I think the problem has been lingering, and I think it finally broke its back, and we, you know, maybe it's not our fault. That we know something a little bit, maybe, but
I think
this will cover it.
a case of new businesses coming in, doing things different. It'd be great if we could live in 1950. Sorry, it's 2025, it's gonna be 2026 next year. Things change. Things haven't changed a whole lot with some of the events that go on in this town. They just, poof.
Yeah.
Well, they got to roll now, a little bit. There's plenty of room on down.
There's plenty of room
There-
here and there.
All kinds of different directions to leave it.
All the other things, we can run all the way to the park if we want.
We can-
do whatever we want.
We have
This is
plenty of
the
room
end.
to, we have plenty of room to get
Infrastructure.
each of the businesses that were open about 8 feet in front of them, to give people plenty of space to walk into these businesses. And it was uncalled for the way that we treated our businesses.
And maybe something we can go to our businesses now and say, in case of any event, what do you need in front of it? And then we exit off. So they bring their map in here, we say, we take our map and text
Blackout
it.
areas on the map. Blackout areas on the map.
Yeah, blackout areas on the map, that the businesses have to come to us and tell us.
And
And we can do that. I have
most of the
to do that.
businesses aren't gonna wanna be open. Let's face it.
Well, I mean, just have a straight
But
map that
there's a
shows,
few.
right here, can't.
Well, it'd be
right here,
easier on the Denver map because it's laid out that way, and so we can X out.
Well, I know, but I'm not talking about just for counties, I mean for.
For everybody.
Yeah, that's the main one called vendors.
But yeah.
That was not the question.
The school says we never want to block our building.
Yes.
Then they can be,
We block it on the map and they know they can't come in. And if they do, Wesley or whoever, go tell them.
That was my concern, is how are we gonna address the situations, who's enforcing it?
so that answer the question is it just access?
Yeah, I mean, it should just be.
Not just, they can't. you
I think it
say-
should be the access.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying.
I mean, that's impossible to say that. That's why.
That's part of our, that's got.
Yeah.
Too. You can't reserve parking in front of your building.
No.
You should, no.
And I do think they should make it a thing where they can't have an actual booth out in front either in that spot. They need a reserved spot, and we can give it to them right in front of the building, because that's how the organization makes their money, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I was only concerned with a pathway.
Yes, I think about 8 foot is reasonable for us to give to anybody, any organization, to give to somebody for right in front of someone's booth. I mean, and then that way somebody can see the business, walk into the business, access the business, see the front window of business, and see that it's open. That's plenty of space for someone to put out a sign that says, hey, I'm open, you know, so.
But I think they're making this, I think they're making mountain out of a molehill. I think it's easy to fix.
Like I said, if there wasn't enough room, I would feel the same way, Anthony, it is 2 days, but.
And it's not just the room issue, there's also the utilizing of city resources for a week to almost 2 weeks ahead of time, that we need to know about, you know, because they're doing something and they're doing this, and then all of a sudden, you know, the event is expecting chief to be over there to give a briefing, and he's not there. Well, he's busy, he's doing something else, so then he can delegate to Connor or to somebody else to go do that, and then there's a lot, and, you know, counties is another good example. The city provides a lot of resources to the chamber. I don't know that the chamber realizes it, but we do. We realize the amount of work and effort that my PD puts in, the public works puts in, and even City Hall. So, and that's where a lot of this did stem from. Just so that we would know, okay, how involved are we gonna have to be with this event?
Other than having the town hall about businesses.
Well, we can just put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You guys
show
look
up.
over and you're like, yeah, we're all good.
If they want space to get into the business, they can show up and explain and we'll accommodate. If they don't show up, then if something,
Yeah, if you don't tell us,
if you don't show up and then the case happens and then.
I don't think they should have to show up
I
for
agree.
space. I think they should simply have to notify us.
just let
Yeah.
somebody know. Even any council member, you can let them know and they can tell us.
It's demonstrated.
That's a terrible
They
idea.
need- they need-
You want to notify me, the mayor, you have to call the mayor?
They need to come here.
Or
Or
Kelly,
if they can't be here, send leave a message that here, like a memo, like that you give to us that night.
Okay.
It'll go to one.
It needs to be more formal than just
Yeah.
let Anthony know.
Well, he would have to bring it up to everybody.
I understand that, but like, I'm trying to stop somebody from telling me some random statement and getting to say something.
Yeah.
And you forget to
That's
tell
probably
them.
what
I
happens.
mean, I guess if you just start like
Figure out.
chamber, when they mark the lines, they can just stop 4 feet from the, on this side of the door. and
Using-
We have a really good map, a vendor map, and we can exit out vendor map.
Are they using temporary paint, like money paint?
It is water soluble.
Something that'll actually come off the
I have the paint at the library, I can show it to you, it's water soluble paint.
Is it still, are there still
I'll
more
show
stuff
it to
there?
you.
But they're gonna regular spray.
No, it's water soluble.
Has it came off?
It has to come off the ground.
Convert can marking paint.
You cannot go take that off.
Okay.
No, it should be off by now.
It
It's
ain't.
not there.
It's all over the street.
Inverted can marking paint, like what you and I use to mark out.
That's exactly what it
That's
is.
what they're using?
Well, it's-
That's on there savagely, because like, last year's Skydays did not wear off until just recently.
Right before
I
council.
thought it was last year.
I have one different things, but I'll show you.
I will say there's
Okay.
orange marks on my foundation, like, and I cleaned them really, really good. To not put the sleeves on, so.
And I know what it is.
like,
Okay.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
think it's a small problem, I think, we're not being,
It's
not on the paint, I'm just talking about the whole thing, we can,
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
So Mary, I have a question.
okay.
The
One more,
city
we're
park
moving on.
is a city, like if we have a movie in the park, or DCA has a movie in the park,
Yes,
we need to fill one of these out
yes, that's city
and have
park.
event insurance. Because I know with the discussion between you and I on the phone,
Yeah,
whether event insurance was even required.
I think so, I can't remember what we.
Because we're not selling anything.
But
we're
since
giving
it's on
away.
city property, we should probably have, at least have the application filled.
So any event in the city limits that either sells something or gives something away, or is gonna block streets, or has to have insurance in the event form and everything completely filled out.
No. With the exception of the soccer field where they have soccer games. We're not gonna require the soccer club or the high school or the school to fill out an event every time they do for the soccer field. But if they're using it for a purpose other than that, then yes, they should probably fill out an event application. Okay. Just to make it easy. Okay. So we have our added item, the nursing home building. Today, it was brought to my attention that it is up for auction. It is online, it is up for auction. I think the starting bid was 150, you said? I don't have any information on it. All I have is what I seen today online.
Because I ordered it myself.
So it was brought up to me that we wanted to talk about it. Anthony, the nursing home building.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I do agree with what I'm saying, but I don't, probably kind of have, we're running more businesses, probably potential businesses right there too.
Yeah, old property that we don't really have a use for.
But I get what you're saying, everybody has time to zone.
Which could
We're
take,
supposed to find
years.
out that. Well, we were theorizing.
Zoning.
Years, but we
Yeah.
never actually talked. Discuss that.
Okay. How long would it take to zone that building, that area over there, the old, nursing?
You have to do a comprehensive plan for the city, you can't just zone one area.
How long?
Well,
we'd have to put it out for bid, it would have to go through.
you're talking quite an expense. We have to have someone that.
Okay.
More or less than.
We don't necessarily, we're willing to pay that expense. but
You have to get a quote, I have no idea what it would cost. We just have to get.
There's a process. It's not something we
I
can
did
make
give
it.
a packet to Kelly.
We don't need to
on
talk
how
to
this
the board about
process.
something else, we need to just figure it out
That's not-
ourselves, is what I'm getting.
I was trying to figure out the process.
Yeah, but she's just, we've never had that. So,
How long? Have you guys ever zoned anything before that?
You don't have a comprehensive plan.
I'm not saying here, I'm saying anywhere, like your law firm or anything.
No.
Like the city of St. Robert.
City St.
So-
Robert zone.
Kelly, could you make some calls to other cities and just find the process that we need to do?
Well, I sent a packet to Kelly that outlines the process from Missouri Municipal Service Association. It has the steps in it. We can do it, it's just, it's gonna be a cost, I think we're gonna do some research.
We forward that out again, I think we sent it, but.
I think we're willing to spend the money for this, so this is something we're interested in doing. So,
Are you wanting to make it commercial
It's gonna be.
or residential or?
Well, if we do
It's
a
all up in the
concrete,
air right now, but
yeah,
let's just at least look into this and see what it takes to zone this. Because we had this question back before the nursing home was listed for sale. Months ago or something like this. And we wanted to find out what it would take. If something, if we do it, there's that way before 10 years ago. Trying to make certain things happen.
Right, that's the main thing.
And
Yes.
that's gonna take,
So,
I don't care how long it's
I
going
mean,
to
So
take.
the,
Kelly can forward you
granted
guys the
business
packets that I
license.
got straight off of Missouri, it's a guide, it's a comprehensive guide on what you have to do.
I thought we sent it, we'll
That's
send it
fine.
out.
That's fine, yeah, let's.
So I know, and this was the question, I don't know if it is the question I had. If, say that the youth facility was one who had been there, or the troubled youth facility, or whatever they were talking about before, I'm 1,000% against that because of the drama that's gonna come with it. Could you not approve business license and not allow that business?
See, our ordinance, that was also discussed.
We have to change it.
Shall approve.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to the city with wanting a business license,
They could come in with the title of what we're told, I guess. They could come in and say their title of the company, and generally what they do, and go in there and change it within a month.
So-
That was my idea as well,
What do we need to do to
was,
change
yes,
it?
don't approve it.
the foolproof way to do this is zone. Or unless, or we buy the property and then zone it as we see fit. But
What is it currently zoned as?
there's no.
We don't have any zoning. That's what she's saying, we have to have a comprehensive plan, we have to have a study. I mean, there's steps to it.
That's not really that uncommon around here.
Planning.
I'm,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the same offer, you know, Waynesville, can we do? So, I think that's what we need to look into. I don't know if we should be buying this property or
I
not.
think we can do it for under 150,000.
Do we,
I think we can rezone for under 150,000, so.
but how long is it gonna take? How long are we gonna be sitting on $150,000 piece of property that's falling apart while we're sitting here waiting for the zoning to happen?
It's not in the best, or, I mean, I can speak to the planning system, it's not in the best
And-
shape, but it's, I mean.
A vacant building gets very, very quick.
Well, I've heard of a couple different things that they've already thought about putting into that, and that is, I mean, it'd help the tax income, maybe, but as far as manpower, like if they were to put a youth, or I heard something about a treatment facility, I mean, you're talking about a major strain on.
Well, that must not be definite because it's up for auction.
Right, but I mean, if one of those businesses, like say Great Circle's like, oh, here's a building that we can buy, and then we're gonna put 60 kids in there, and then the next thing we know, we're just.
I mean, somebody could rip it up and make a low-income apartment housing out of it.
Right, or whatever.
I think that'd be a terrible idea as an investor. I would do something more like Lenny Sharp's Primrose, like a little high income, like a closed off apartments like that, just given its location, which would be fine, of course, I think. I mean, but it would take something like that. It's all it would take is somebody wanted to slum it out, basically.
Right, that's what I heard.
So I think that's why we need to take a serious look at zoning this. And, I mean, I don't, I'm not a big fan of the city of wanting more property in town, so it's less tax for to proceed. But, I mean, as a temporary thing, yeah. I mean,
But I think
something more local.
I think first off, we need to change the way we do business license. We need to get that fixed.
I will say,
So that's
say we
what it
need
says.
to decide.
That has been,
Yeah, because you want to table it, look it over.
I think it would, yeah, I think it would have to, for the business license, I mean, we would have to have it listed. We have to put ordinances that state that business will allow this. Just, because here's the thing, in 5 years, if we had to live there as a council, we want them to be in the business, and we're not all this person, we're not this person. And they just have to move that to a lot of stuff. But if you had an established ordinance, like, we don't want that store to be whatever. And it's possible to say, but to leave it to the discretion of us each time, I think it's dangerous. But you sort of said, so.
Well, I had Kelly forward the email. So we'll table it, put the zoning back on the agenda for next month to look at and see where you guys want to get started and where you want to get started at. I mean, the building will probably be sold by then.
What's that bid like?
Huh?
What's the bid on the property, have you know?
I know.
Gary, is there any way to put a hold on new businesses while the zoning
No.
process is in?
No. I mean, permits and licenses are,
Mark
they're
is
legal,
they'll
it's
stop.
not, if you don't have zoning, you can't
Mark is
use
the
that
reach out.
to keep something. You gotta do the zoning. Zoning would be a good thing to do.
I seen it on Facebook, so that's why I said,
I don't think we get in date.
yeah, nobody has one.
Oh, it does, but I can't read it.
I don't know, mine's slow. Oh, they want you to, those darn regulars, they want your email and all that stuff.
You might have another property in Georgia, so.
You gotta register, Anthony.
Well, I see it for a second.
Turn it to a different discussion. So we'll go ahead and move on. City clerk update?
During our November 18th workshop, council agreed to the utility increase as voted upon by council and passed in the 2019 ordinance. So the base rate and consumption rate will increase on January 1, 2026. The base rate will be $107.27 for commercial, $105 for residential, $117.29 for rural. Multi-residential will be $34.72 for both water and sewer, respectively. The charge per 100 gallons will go up 1 cent for both water and wastewater per 100 gallons of usage. And I have provided you with the chart there that you agreed made. We did do the adjustments to the October bills to take off the penalties.
For the penalties, for the furloughs.
We did do that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any questions? Library update?
We raised $148 from our t-shirt sale. Last month, our crafty friends of the library made and donated scarves to 54 kids in 4th grade at Dixon Elementary. The kids came over and we read a book about kindness, and they got to pick out their scarves during craft time. And we got a photo of the crafty ladies with the kids, and it's on our Facebook page. You can see it. We've also been working really hard on booth items for our booth at Hometown Christmas on December 13th. So we'll be selling stuff there to raise money for the library. That's about all I have.
Any questions for the letter? Police update?
So we started, or continuing to hand out abatements, and nuisance tickets and that sort of stuff. So we read the ordinance, and the way that it reads, and Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong on this, any city employee, you don't have to be a post-certified officer in order to give an abatement.
Do a nuisance, yeah.
Right. So with that, to help us keep track, because, I mean, we have our routes that we watch for other reasons. If we can work with Nathan or his crew or whatever, to fill out abatements and then hand them into us, then 7 days from that is when they have to basically clean it up, and then we can go write citations for that. So rather than hire somebody, or I know Lacey has mentioned that she would drive around for a couple hours or whatever the case is, and I know that this is the thing, that's such a broad ordinance that almost every person in this town could probably get a ticket or an abatement. And it's such a broad, there's not like so it's left up to interpretation basically. But at least the abatement, we would have more than our two eyes trying to drive around and look for whether it's tall grass or trash in the yard or trashy or yard debris or water left in the swimming pool, or, you know what I'm saying, all these
I mean,
things.
would it help like when, so let's say Darren and Shane when they're reading meters?
Absolutely.
And Darren's like, man, that yard looks terrible. And he comes to you and says, hey, this address needs whatever.
Or they can fill it out as an abatement, and that's what I'm saying, they have 7 days.
And just stick it on the door?
And just put it on the door and be like, hey, we recognize that you have junk in your yard and you need to get cleaned up. And then give us the other copy so we can file it, and then within 7 days, we're working on a system right now to where we have a chart that shows every 7 days we go back and check that property. And the citation, Carrie, is that going to be every 7 days? That was a question that I had as far as not the abatement, but the actual nuisance citation. Because the way the abatement paper reads is you have 7 days to fix that problem. And if that problem's not fixed in 7 days, then we come back and give a citation. But some people are they don't care. And so, is it every 7 days? Is it every 30 days? Like, how should we?
You gotta read your ordinance.
Okay. The only thing is, are the maintenance guys going to be willing to do that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't even talked to them about this.
I mean,
This is something we've been working on this.
customers tell me all the time, like, oh yeah, tell the renters not to put this down the toilet. It's like, that's not
your
what
job.
I do. Like,
Yeah.
right, your house, you want to do that, you go right ahead.
I'm not
Yeah, you were the worst for it back. Tell them not to put that in there. You do it all.
But that was an idea that we had, because you don't have to, all it takes is a city employee to write the abatement.
So personally, I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because you're gonna see 7+ names on the board. So as to, like what you said, is it's so broad, I'd rather them guys report it to you all, and you all make that decision on what is and what isn't. Because Nathan's idea of it may be completely different than what yours is.
Right.
Keep it consistent.
Yeah.
There's no court date or anything like that.
With all the abatement is a warning. Say that you have 7 days to clean this up because your yard looks trashy, or your grass hasn't been mowed, or whatever the case is.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like a building official.
And I don't even care if it's, I would just rather go to one person to make that, or two guys, or, whatever, to make that decision. You guys can turn them all in, but to Wesley, or if you took it all, Wesley can turn it over to you. I don't care. I would just rather not have 7 names on the.
Well, I mean, and I'm not saying like every Shane and every single person on the crew, but like if Shane's walking around and giving meters or reading meters or whatever the case is, and he sees trash in the yard or whatever the case is, then he can either make a list and then we can fill out abatements and then 7 days from then go do it, or they can fill out the abatement and then let us know in 7 days we can go write the actual citation. It's just basically more eyes.
Just on the surface, I'm fine with the departments helping each other, but I think it would be better if the police department did it. I realize it doesn't have to be
But I do think it would be better if you improve the benefits.
I think it's a good idea to have those guys helping as far as, here's the paper, we saw this, chief, here. But
Give you a list.
they go to that front door, they're not carrying a gun on their side in case they hit a pissed off customer. And now we got a guy either in a hostage situation or shot over junk in the yard.
Yeah, it was Joe.
I mean, in bigger cities.
You're trained to handle that kind of
Bigger
stuff.
cities, it's a building official, it's not a cop, it's a.
They have their own.
I have a female friend that lives in Jeff City. Her actual full-time job is to go around and cite people for nuisance. Or having a maintenance on blocks in their yard, or
Yeah.
having their grass too high. So
Right.
that's what she does for
To be
the,
honest, when you want to say Robert, the cops don't drive.
Yeah, the cops don't do that there.
Building official.
I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to get out of work. I'm just saying that I'm missing things, like obviously the one on 4th Street, I seen, and I was trying to give her a benefit of the doubt because I've been in that house and she needed to clean the house. But everything ended up in the yard and it's been there for a month, so we dealt with that today. The one next to Lacey's was the same deal. It's been ongoing, they're trying to clean that house out, so they're just putting it all out in the yard, but then they just leave it there, they don't ever finish. And so a lot of that, those two in particular, they both got broke today. But we're trying, it's hard to see all of it, you know, especially the grass, I'll be honest. I mean, unless it's like knee-deep, and I don't even think I'm looking for other things when I look at property. You know, I'm looking for suspicious activity type stuff and not really looking at landscaping. Where these guys, if they walk through knee-deep grass in order to read a meter, it's gonna be a lot more obvious to them. But in order to be able to enforce it, to get our grant to go through and all the things, I mean, if I can get some kind of help from those guys, that would be fantastic. However we do it, I mean, that's kind of up to you guys, but however we decide if we want them, a person delegated
I've had
these guys to be able to write an abatement and us write citation, or if they want to make us a list and then we go do it, or whatever the case is, I mean, just so we have extra eyes to be able to see what we're actually finding.
Let me ask you this, when you worked for City of Waynesville, when you worked on the sewer department, or water department, right? Did you do it?
Did I do it? No.
It would have been Nathan or someone.
We probably did.
Yeah, so we don't have that separation.
Right.
They see when you come to their house and you're fixing, I mean, everybody's already mad anyway because the city main or whatever. So it's better you staying on friendly terms with everyone as opposed to, if we had a Nathan Collin here.
I'm not trying to talk.
No, I understand, it was said though that Jeff City, sure, they do that, but they had a separate department for that. That would be my only, that's why I said on the surface, it's better for police departments to do that. But if we had a separate, if we had another employee that didn't work for maintenance, and didn't work for the police, and just worked out of City Hall, sure.
So can we classify a nuisance officer as helping those guys and us get part of that general fund?
Oh, you mean part of the water sewer, because they're doing part of that?
The hours they spent doing abatements, if we decided, if we said abatements and nuisances fell under public works, then the hours they spent doing that job could be funded by water and sewer, I would think.
We had an ordinance officer one time, didn't we?
It's just our maintenance department.
We had an ordinance officer one time, didn't we, that just went around done tickets for ordinance?
That wouldn't work, because it's not technically water or sewer.
It would be its own thing.
It would be under the building law, sure, under the
well,
public works.
would it not be though? Because don't we, when we, find them, isn't it through their bills?
Well, it's maintenance, isn't it?
Depends on what you do with it.
It goes on their tax bill.
If you abate it for them, and if there's a cost, then you can tax it.
It doesn't get.
Even if it fell under the building, it's still not
It's
water or
tax.
sewer.
No, that's
Just not
just,
in water or sewer fund.
it's its own.
I mean, it's a nice thought.
Actually, it's out.
You could have part-time.
That's a different process.
That's the issue.
Your nuisance
Technically, if we're maintenance guys, they would have to pay that general because it's.
5 days.
Sure.
We don't,
and 4 days.
we're just one of them that have to do it.
You see where I'm going with it,
I
though?
think
Yeah, that's just a nice one to have.
Yeah.
The water and sewer eyeballs, and then just give it to West. You know, use their eyeballs, but they're not gonna go in and hand out papers and.
I can form if you want to.
Take a picture of it.
Keep the form, come keep the form in the truck, if they see it, fill it out, turn it into you, and you have paperwork on it, and you can go do what you need to do.
Well, and like I said, I mean, I'm not opposed, I was just thinking, if I had extra eyes, but if we had a nuisance officer, that, I mean, if there is some way that we could work them into these guys' budget, then that would give the police department some of that budget and help us out tremendously budget-wise.
I mean, like I said, it's a nice, I don't know that there's any way we could actually do that, because it's not under the purview of those that are not.
Chief, it looks more like it's 20 days before you can write a ticket. If I'm reading your ordinance, because you have to give them a notice, wait 15 days, then you can cite them and tell them to abate, and you wait 5 days. If I'm reading this right? And then, of course, you can either go in and fix it and have to be a tax against their property, or it does say that you can then cite them for every day after that,
Okay,
for maintaining it.
So on our, we're gonna have to take a look at our abatement forms, because the way our forms are wrote up that we're handing out, it says 7 days from the time.
Yeah, I mean, you got 215040, abatement of nuisances. That ordinance might be, could use a little slow, because it's hard to read. We could go out on E-Code 360 and patrol other municipalities and see if there's maybe a more clearly.
And it's a building and property enforcement, I don't see why it couldn't come out of local work.
Like the building permits and stuff go in a general fund. They don't go in sewer. So if you put it in a building classification, it would be a general fund employee.
Ordinance 336.
That's where he's
and
Right.
512, but I don't know if 512
I was thinking maintenance altogether.
completely changed it or.
That's what I was thinking too, I was lumping it all in the same as names.
It's,
Yeah, we'll have to, we'll think about it.
I mean, but this, it just clearly shows, like, when you get a little relaxed on this stuff, how bad.
Oh, yeah, how bad it
I mean, we made leaps and bounds
of a notice of.
a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
No, we really mean it, you got 5 days.
In just a few months.
Like I said,
People take very, advantage of it.
those two houses that I know the excuse, they're trying to clean the house out to, because it's not even livable. Like, both of the houses, I mean, it was piled, I've been.
Could they not afford a dumpster to put that stuff in?
No, that's the whole thing, we're talking about the type of person that would live in that house versus somebody that does things responsibly.
But
Well,
it's
we
a
do
dumpster.
have two free dumpsters in the city shed.
Right, oh yeah, but we've used it, like, personally, we've
I
used it.
mean, just for that reason.
Yeah.
They can pack it outside, they can pack it down there.
I'm with you 1,000% on it. I get it, I'm not, Jim, I'm just saying those houses, like, thus I have seen an uptick, like, it does look nicer in town. The sidewalks, like everything, like, it is starting to look better in town, but the eyesores are really sore.
Yes.
Yeah, they really
You-
stick out.
We have got to
If
keep
you're just talking
constant
about
pressure.
yard stuff, it might be 7
Constant.
days. Depends on, it looks like it might depend on the character of the nuisance. Because if you've got rubbish, there's 7, I mean, maybe I'll look at this.
Cause I read it and I was with you, and like I said, on the abatement form, it says 7 days, that's the reason why I was.
You've got debris on property. Debris on property. And down here,
We'll try to.
abatement of nuisances, it says 15 days there. And then it's kind of like, I don't do it in that time, and do it for 5 more days.
We're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to figure a good route.
But as far as the rest of the stuff, patrolling, we've had numerous traffic stops, traffic is getting better, people are watching their speed better. lots of mechanical stuff. It's that time of year where we have the headlights out and stuff like that. Narcotic sales are down, believe it or not. We've been really hammering the ones, and that's what we're doing for. So I think overall, knock on wood, everything has been pretty good thus far.
Anything else?
Oh, the only thing I ask is, only because it's been brought up 100 times, is weekend visibility is, I think we're on weekends right now. We have a shift that covers Saturday and Sunday, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
We have reserves, we have reserves that basically schedule when they can work. We cannot find officers. We have looked, we've on Indeed, we've talked, we've tried poaching. We cannot find officers. We have people that want to apply for jobs because they want to keep their unemployment going or whatever the case is. But you've got to be certified, you've got to be, you know what I'm saying? We're offering more than anybody around financially to start, and we just cannot get officers. We're still dealing, I believe we're still dealing with the black cloud that Dixon's had for the last 50 years when it comes to law enforcement, and we're just slowly having to change it until, I'm hoping with the new academy, we have a couple new academies that's opening up, that we can start getting in on that, and whether I can get in and start training in those facilities or whatever, but hopefully start to get some new officers or some new fresh blood up here in the area, because we cannot find officers to cover all the shifts.
So Joe, they went with that nuisance stuff going on this weekend. The first thing that, a lot of us in this room said was, we'll report it. And then you see all the comments on there, well, we have a police crew to report it to, which is great, because I know that means you're in places a lot of times that you need to be that people don't see it.
Right.
I just wish there was a way that we could show that more visual proof on Friday nights and Saturdays.
Which, when we do have officers on, I'll just say when Vermont's on, everybody knows. Because he makes 15 to 25 traffic stops in one shift right here in town. He hammers everybody.
Have you, have we reached out to Fort Leonard and asked if we could get some MPs? I know that they are supposed to have some volunteer time, I don't know.
You got to be co-certified through the state, which means there's an actual certification, like MPs can test to be post-certified, but then I don't know if their command will allow a GI Joe to come out and play in the public in case they did get shot or something, their government issue.
Yeah.
So I mean.
That also goes against the Constitution.
Yeah.
So it's,
You have better luck with the DA Police Academy, but I don't know if they would let the civilian police
I don't think.
police outside of.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think the aspect too is, I'm not even begging for like 1,000 traffic tickets. I'm just begging for the fact that, and I'll bring up an example, I think you handled this, they called me, but, there was a bit at the high school, a lock-in for the cheerleaders or dancers, and they had an alarm go off, and it was Friday night, and they called, and one of them called me asking who they could call, they were freaking out. Because they called the number, and it went to Pulaski, and Pulaski said, well, we're 20 minutes out, and there's a group of high school girls in the high school that are scared to death. And I think they may have called you individually, and you went up there.
Yeah.
It's hard, because I feel like Friday night and Saturday night are those two nights that you probably see a lot, and it's hard when we don't have anyone to cover.
Well, I get calls all hours of the night.
Yeah.
Almost every day. I'm out and about. The problem is that short of me working 24/7, literally 24/7, it's hard to show and have the police presence unless we have another officer on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, especially here in the last couple of months, I have not taken some night calls and relied on county in order to do that. That's kind of bit me in the butt a couple times already. And not that, for instance, but we had a trespassing that they didn't respond to. There's some things that they want to prioritize, well, that's a Dixon issue type situation. So that's something I'm gonna have to address with the sheriff and talk with him. But as far as coverage, if I'm here, I'm here.
Yeah,
You need time, you
Yeah,
got time
Right, and I get that, and I know it's a responsibility I took, and I knew that doing what I've done, what I've gotten myself into, I'm with you, I wish badly I could find officers that had, not even necessarily a 24-hour coverage. I don't like putting out when we have officers on and when we don't have officers on, because crime rate will rise, obviously, when we don't have officers and people have a set schedule. So they have no idea when we work, where we're working, or what the case is, and I like it that way. But it would be nice if I had manpower.
So how many are you short currently?
We need one more full-time, nighttime person. And that, if we have that with our 3 reserves, we'll be fine. Because in weekends, we'll have two officers on Friday, Saturday night, potentially, Sunday during the day, because traffic's a little more in town. That sort of stuff. But right now, we need one full-time. I need one full-timer, is what I need. And then that way, they can work nights, or evenings, whatever, not all night. I don't care about 24, I don't think we need 24-hour coverage in this town. If so, we need a lot more officers and a bigger budget. But with what we have, one more evening officer, 7 to 3, or, whatever, or 3 to 7, or whatever the case is, we need one more full-timer that is just, I can't find him. I don't know how to, that's what I'm short. But then with that being said, then we're gonna have to start looking at vehicles for the department because ours are on their last leg. My truck is fine, but the old brown one, we can't, I don't know what's wrong with it. We've had the alternator change, we've got the battery change, we get every single time we get into it, we've got to jump it. Cotner's vehicle, the divider and the defrost, so now he has to leave his on all the time in order for it to get, it's like a sauna in there, that way it gets snow on the windshield or whatever, because the defrost are gonna work. And it's, what was it, $2,500 or $3,000 in order to fix that? Well, you're looking, if you strip out all the stuff out of that car, it's probably worth $2,500. All the police stuff. So we're getting to a place where we're gonna have to start spending some money and getting some vehicles. And I've got Lacey working on that with grants. We're trying to contact different departments or different dealerships or whatever, see if we can work some kind of deal. And I don't know, I've looked at leasing opportunities, which makes sense to me to be able to lease vehicles, that way we're not responsible for them or whatever, because at the end of the day, when we get done with them, they're not worth anything. So we run them until the wheels fall off. So if we could get some sort of leasing program to where it covers, we get 3 vehicles every 2 years or every year or whatever the case is, and then trade those in, they sell them, and get new ones type deal, that would make sense to me, but I've yet to find anything that's feasible for that as well, so.
Yeah, in our budget.
And right, within our budget, so, that was the reason why I was asking about the nuisance guy, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. If I could work that out to where Joe could pay for that and out of our budget, then it would make more sense, but I don't know, there's good news is grind down and things are looking better in Dixon. We still have some hurdles, we still have some obstacles that we're working through, and dealing with as they come type situations, so. But. Anything from me? Anybody?
Next chief, Brittany.
We have 19 more orders, for month November, 1 total fleet was repaired, no sewer backups. Water loss was at 26%. We did demolish the dog pound and scrapped all the metal. We are going to be selling the Ford Ranger, based on the surplus property ordinance you guys just passed. Kelly and I reached out to MRWA to conduct a study on our water and sewer rates. This study will more than likely be completed in 2026. And we're also going to reach out for the energy audit also. Both studies are at no cost to the city.
When was the last time, do you remember when we had a water sewer rate study? It's been a while.
I don't remember.
I want to say 22, 23, or maybe longer than that. Was it before that? So this will be good. And this will maybe help everybody understand where we're at with our rates going up and
And Nate, you did talk with, the regional MoDOT guy about 28 Chestnut, right?
Yes.
He got with you?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did. Yeah, he's gonna be, he's gonna call me, I think it was next year, he's gonna call me and, I'll have him meet us out there.
So how far down 28 of those sidewalks going?
School to school is what they said today. They said it'll go from where they're started at now, school to school is what it's listed as on that MoDOT form.
So from the, basically gasket stage all the way to the middle school?
That's the way it's listed.
So
The undertaking.
what I remember because we had to approve something.
Yeah, we had an ordinance
It just showed what's up there.
up there.
That's all I remember.
How are we gonna get through one of the railroad tracks?
They'll go beside it.
There ain't
Go
no,
underneath?
you can't go, there ain't no space in there for a sidewalk.
They'll probably say cross the
Go
school
the
gate
other
right
side.
there,
Uh-huh.
cross behind.
They're gonna have a flashing light and all that.
Right across underneath the old viaduct.
I mean,
The old one.
So they said something about school, is that what they said?
I would.
That's what the paper said today, but they were not a lot of it.
The ordinance,
I mean, that's what
like
I'm
Trevor
trying
said, the ordinance, like Trevor said, only has that little stretch right there.
That's what I, well, and maybe it's a second, it could be a second project, maybe.
That they decided to take on.
Well, it could be because they were out, doing a survey on C a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I talked to one of the surveyors, and he said they were doing the ADA compliant updates.
that was
That's for
nice.
2027.
He didn't say they were doing, replacing the whole sidewalk, he said they were doing the ADA compliant updates. What in the world that means?
So-
I don't know.
Yes, that is what that sidewalk is.
It is definitely not ADA.
The sidewalk is not what that is. That's why there's the brakes in there, that's the line.
Yeah, it's like,
It goes up and then it's flat.
what was the name?
7 years old, push it, make sure.
I don't remember.
They have a name for it, they're improving it across the state, it's for bikers and people who need wheelchair assistance, and that's what those are for.
Yeah,
So
what's
they're supposed
that?
to-
They sent us an email, and I
It's-
can't think of what it is.
I had the paper in my pocket, and I lost
Tag.
it somewhere.
Is that what they call it? It's a tack grant?
Yeah, the Waynesville's doing all those in their tax grant.
Still,
Great, hopefully we can.
state transportation.
That's what the brakes are.
Yeah, it's slow like that for a reason.
I thought it was just crashing.
I did too until today.
I know, they asked you to upset.
There's, Dixon has about 10 projects that have not yet been done, that's on there.
Yeah.
The bridge, the railroad bridge in town is one of them.
Like mine.
Which would be tough, because it does belong to the railroad. The railroad doesn't do anything that the railroad does not want to do.
That is set. There's about 10 projects or so, 20 that's not funded yet.
Yeah, Justin and Mike went to the MoDOT meeting today with the commission and the MW, the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission, I think, hosted it. So I couldn't make it, so they went over there today for that. And that's where they got their information.
The 28th and Chestnut got put on that list.
To do what with it?
Basically to figure out if it
To maybe be fixed someday.
that list is a mile
It's
long,
already
right?
right
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
little,
Yeah, it needs.
To try to make it better.
Well, the big trucks, when they come through there, they tear it up,
Yeah.
so.
The best thing to do, like they said, is talk to your representatives to push it through, because that list is a mile long with like 5 things.
well, that's not what Don May said.
I explained that to them as well. They said that there's only about 5 items on that list, it's a 2-page list of everything in Pulaski County that needs repaired, including I-44.
And unfortunately, 28 is on that list to be repaved, so it should fix up Chestnut 28 there when they repave.
They're gonna raise it.
Yeah, just layer it on top.
Okay. Report sent to DNR.
Yeah, the October EMR 2025, and then, unfortunately, we did fail both vaccine samples for the month. We conducted resamples, and we also installed new sampling sites, to kind of help out with that.
See if that'll mitigate the problem, because I think locust is a problem, right? Is that the one?
Yeah,
Second Street,
section.
Generally.
so maybe try that. Okay. All right, Carrie, do you have anything for us?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Robert Arnold?
Yes.
Dan Coffman?
Yes.